The Dauntless shuddered as the first volley struck. Metal screamed, consoles sparked, and the smell of ozone rolled through the bridge. Captain Elena Voss gripped the railing, steadying herself as her ship fought against gravity and fire. "Shields are gone!" Lieutenant Rahim called from tactical. "Hull integrity at 70%, dropping fast. Divert auxiliary to engines," Voss snapped. Her voice carried the practiced steel of someone who had ordered men and women through worse storms. "We're not staying in their kill zone." The viewport lit with streaks of emerald plasma as Threx warships descended. They moved with predatory precision, their jagged forms blotting out the sun over Zerath Prime. Communications crackled. A voice, low and guttural, filled the bridge. "Human vessel. Power down and prepare for boarding. The Dominion will not warn again." Voss stiffened. Surrender was death. Everyone on the Dauntless knew it. "Boarding craft incoming," Rahim confirmed. His dark eyes met hers, grim and certain. "They'll cut us apart if we resist. They'll cut us apart if we don't." The crew knew she was right. The Dominion had been probing human outposts for months, testing defenses, capturing stragglers. No one returned. "Brace for impact," someone yelled. The ship lurched violently as grapples locked onto the hull. The sound was unmistakable, metal teeth digging into their bones. "Armory, this is the bridge," Voss barked into comms. "Repel all boarders. Contain them at the entry points." Her crews scattered to their stations. She felt their fear in the way hands shook, in breaths held too long, but no one faltered. The lights dimmed as emergency power took over. Red glow washed across the bridge, painting her people like figures in a nightmare. Voss pressed her earpiece. "Engineering status?" Chief Nygaard's voice came ragged. "Main reactor holding, but if they breach aft compartments, I can't guarantee stability. Keep her alive as long as you can. Voss out." The deck trembled again. This time it wasn't gunfire. It was footsteps. The first breach tore open outside the mess hall. Kite and armored Threx soldiers poured through, their mandibles clicking as they swept forward. Sergeant Willis and his squad met them head-on. Gunfire erupted, human rifles spitting heat against alien carapace. Some of the invaders fell, ichor spilling onto the deck, but more kept coming, methodical and relentless. On the bridge, Rahim muttered, "They're not killing on sight." Voss caught the same detail. The Threx weren't slaughtering. They were capturing, stunning with shock pikes, dragging crew away in nets. That wasn't war. It was collection. Her gut turned cold. "They want us alive," she whispered. Rahim gave her a sharp look. "Why?" She didn't answer. Not yet. Minutes blurred into chaos. Section by section, the ship buckled under the invasion. Voss directed defenses, buying time, but the pattern was obvious. The Threx wanted prisoners more than victory. When the bridge doors finally blew inward, Voss was waiting. Pulse pistol raised, stance steady. The alien who stepped through wasn't a grunt. Its armor gleamed black gold, inscribed with Dominion sigils. Taller than two men, its multifaceted eyes locked on her with chilling calm. "Captain Elena Voss," it said, its translator buzzing with static. "Surrender. The Dominion requires your compliance." "You'll get nothing but fire," she shot back. The alien tilted its head, mandibles clicking. Then, to her surprise, it stepped aside. Its soldiers swarmed past, seizing Rahim and the others. No killing, no bloodlust, just efficient capture. Voss raised her weapon again, but a heavy claw clamped her wrist. Pain shot up her arm, forcing her to drop the pistol. "Why not kill us?" she demanded through clenched teeth. "What are you so afraid of?" The alien leaned close. Its breath rattled like dry leaves. "Because your kind carries a truth the galaxy cannot know. Better you are silenced than unleashed." The words chilled her more than any threat. She was dragged through the corridors of her own ship, past wreckage and unconscious bodies. The invaders moved carefully, avoiding even incidental contact without armor. Their claws never touched bare skin. That detail gnawed at her. Aliens who carved empires without hesitation, Afraid of human touch? They herded her into a holding bay where dozens of her crew were already bound. Eyes met hers, some pleading, some hardened with defiance. She forced calm into her voice. Stay together. We'll find a way out. The alien commander turned its gaze toward her. Hope sustains you, human. That is another danger. Before she could answer, the boarding craft disengaged. The deck lurched again, gravity shifting as they were pulled toward Zerath Prime. The view through the portholes revealed the jungle world sprawling below, endless green, choked with storms, lightning cracking across the canopy. A planet no one dared colonize, rumored to consume ships and settlers alike. Why here? Why bring them alive to this cursed place? Her questions piled with no answers. Yet her instincts whispered the same warning: they know something. Something about us. She clenched her fists, wrists biting against restraints. Whatever the Threx believed, whatever they feared, it wasn't going to end with her people in cages. Not while she still had breath. The descent rattled every bolt in the craft. Heat shimmered outside as they punched through atmosphere. Beside her, Rahim whispered, "Captain, what do you think they want?" Her answer was quiet but sharp. "To erase us before anyone else learns why they can't." The alien commander glanced back, its expression unreadable. For a moment, she swore she saw something flicker in those insectal eyes. Not contempt. Not superiority. Fear. And that terrified her more than anything else. The boarding craft broke atmosphere, roaring into the storm-wracked skies of Zerath Prime. The jungle below writhed like a living ocean, shadows shifting in the endless green. Voss drew a slow breath, steadying her heartbeat. Her crew needed strength, not despair. She leaned toward Rahim, voice low. "We'll play along until we know what they're hiding. But stay alert. Whatever's waiting down there, it isn't just for us." He nodded grimly. The alien commander finally spoke again, as if savoring the moment. "Welcome to your end, humans. The Dominion thanks you for your contribution." Voss met its gaze, unflinching. "You don't know humanity, insect. We don't give contributions. We take them back." The commander hissed softly, mandibles flexing. For the first time, it didn't answer. The storm swallowed them whole. The air inside the alien facility was wrong. Too sterile, too thin, stripped of scent and life. Captain Elena Voss had been marched through corridors of black stone that hummed faintly, as though alive. Lights pulsed above, cold and green, illuminating walls etched with Dominion script. Every step echoed, the sound swallowed quickly by the damp, heavy silence. She and her crew were herded into a chamber sealed by a door thick as a fortress gate. The moment it closed, the atmosphere changed again, filtered, pressurized. Not for human comfort. For containment. Elena's restraints were removed only to replace them with a clear-walled enclosure that felt more like an exhibit than a cell. She stood against the glass, scanning the room. Rows of instruments, tanks filled with pale fluid, dissected remains of creatures she didn't recognize. The Dominion had turned biology into a battlefield. "Captain," Rahim murmured, his voice low from the adjacent cell. His knuckles were white around the bars of his enclosure. "Why bring us here? Why not a prison ship?" She didn't answer immediately. Across the chamber, figures emerged, Threx scientists in armored suits. Unlike their warriors, these avoided even the air around her. They moved with deliberate caution, as if she were a toxin about to escape. One approached her enclosure, mandibles clicking behind its mask. A translator box at its side buzzed to life. "You are Captain Elena Voss. You will cooperate." Elena tilted her head. "Depends on your definition of the word." The insectoid shifted, tapping commands on a device. A panel in the wall brightened, projecting images. Human anatomy unfolded in ghostly layers, muscles, blood vessels, lungs. She felt her stomach tighten. They had studied her kind in detail. Too much detail. The voice droned on, clinical, detached. "Human biology is aberrant. Your cells endure radiation that unravels most species. Your immune systems adapt in cycles beyond safe thresholds. Your pain thresholds fluctuate with chemicals your bodies excrete at will. You endure heat, cold, starvation, exposure, at levels no civilized being should. Civilized? Elena echoed softly, tasting the insult. The alien continued. You are unstable. Dangerous to every ecosystem. To every alliance. You reproduce at reckless speed, mutating unpredictably. You carry bacteria that cannot be catalogued. Viruses evolve within you faster than containment allows. Your biology itself is a contagion. Rahim let out a bitter laugh. You're afraid of us because we get colds? The nearest scientist hissed, mandibles scraping its visor. A trivial illness in you becomes extinction to others. Your very presence destabilizes balance. The Dominion cannot allow you to spread. Elena pressed her palm to the glass. Then why not wipe us out quietly? Why drag us here? The alien paused. Its multifaceted eyes caught the green light, flashing like shards of glass. Because we must understand the scope of the threat before eliminating it. To kill without knowledge is to risk failure. Humanity must be dissected. Catalogued. Silenced. Her crews shifted uneasily. Some cursed under their breath, others simply stared at the images of human bodies reduced to specimens. Elena forced herself to stay calm, but her mind raced. They don't just fear humans, they fear what they don't yet understand about us. Hours passed. Tests began. The Threx avoided touching them directly, using drones to extract blood, skin, breath samples. Elena endured the pricks and scans without flinching, watching carefully. The aliens documented every reaction, blood clotting faster than expected, heart rate spiking under stress then stabilizing, skin healing over scratches before their eyes. One drone withdrew too slowly after nicking her arm. A single drop of blood fell onto the sterile floor. Immediately, alarms shrieked. The scientists recoiled, mandibles clattering in alarm. Disinfectant mist hissed across the chamber until the droplet vanished. Rahim stared, wide-eyed. It's just blood. No, Elena said quietly. To them, it's a weapon. The realization settled cold in her chest. They weren't treating humans like enemies. They were treating them like contagions. That night's cycle, or what passed for it in the alien facility, Elena sat with her back against the glass, speaking low so the guards wouldn't hear. They're terrified of us, she said to her crew. Not our weapons. Not our ships. Us. Corporal Willis shook his head. Doesn't make sense. They've conquered half the sector. What's so special about us? Elena met his gaze. Because we survive what others can't. We push limits until they break. Our bodies change, adapt, heal. They don't know how to stop that. Rahim leaned closer to the barrier. Then maybe that's our advantage. If they think we're unstable, maybe we can use it. Her lips curved in the faintest smile. Exactly. The next day, another round of experiments began. This time, the aliens released controlled toxins into her enclosure, gases meant to paralyze. Elena felt her muscles weaken, lungs burning, but she forced each breath, fought through the haze until the gas cleared. Monitors beeped frantically. One scientist snapped in its own tongue, the translator buzzing. Resilience, higher than projections. Adaptation rate unacceptable. Elena coughed once, then straightened, eyes burning into theirs. You keep testing. We keep surviving. That's the problem, isn't it? The alien stiffened. For the first time, she saw hesitation. She pressed harder. You're not gods of the galaxy. You're afraid of a species that hasn't even left its cradle. That fear will spread faster than any plague. The scientist slammed the controls, cutting the translator. But she had seen the truth in its twitching mandibles. When the guards withdrew, Elena turned to Rahim. They can't let us leave alive. Not after what they've shown us. That means our only chance is to escape before they decide they've learned enough. He grimaced. And how do you propose we fight out of a fortress crawling with bugs? She lifted her hand, showing the faint scar where blood had fallen. They're terrified of our biology. That's the key. We turn their fear against them. Willis frowned. You mean, weaponize ourselves? Elena's eyes hardened. If they think we're walking plagues, let's prove them right. Silence filled the chamber. The idea was madness, but it was also the only sliver of hope. Later, when the guards brought food, sealed nutrient paste, they made a mistake. The drone that delivered it hesitated near Rahim's cell. He coughed deliberately into the vent, moisture fogging the surface. The scientists recoiled instantly, ordering the drone back. Their fear was instinctive, uncontrolled. Elena saw the crack. A way in. She leaned close to her crew, voice sharp and certain. That's it. They don't understand our microbes, our unpredictability. They've built walls and suits and filters, but fear makes them sloppy. If we can breach that fear, even a little, they'll lose control. Rahim exhaled slowly. So we don't break out by strength. We break out by being human. Her answer was steady, resolute. Exactly. We'll use the one weapon they can't cage, ourselves. The thought hung in the stale air, heavy, dangerous, undeniable. For the first time since capture, Elena felt the spark of something dangerous flicker inside her chest. Not just survival. Not just defiance. Rebellion. And the aliens had no idea what was coming. The storm hammered the alien facility, thunder rattling its walls like cannon fire. Captain Elena Voss stood inside her glass enclosure, pulse steady, eyes fixed on the guards patrolling the corridor. Tonight would decide everything. She pressed her palm against the barrier, letting her breath fog the surface. The guards shifted uneasily, mandibles clicking. Even through sealed helmets, the suggestion of contamination unsettled them. Good. Fear was her weapon now. Rahim, she whispered through the vent slot. When they open the cells for testing, we move. No hesitation. He nodded, jaw tight. Willis and the others leaned forward, catching every word. Exhaustion lined their faces, but sparks of determination burned behind their eyes. The moment came quicker than expected. A drone rolled in, carrying instruments. The glass walls retracted with a hiss, releasing the sterile barrier. Elena stepped out first, swaying deliberately as if weak. The nearest scientist gestured sharply, instructing her toward the examination table. She obeyed, moving slowly, then stumbled and caught herself on its arm. Her bloodied palm left a smear on the metal surface. The reaction was immediate. Alarms wailed, lights strobed. The scientists shrieked in their tongue, scrambling back. Drones deployed mist sprayers, filling the chamber with chemical fog. Elena straightened. Her voice cut through the chaos. Now! Rahim lunged at the closest guard, driving his shoulder into its abdomen. Willis ripped the nutrient paste container and smashed it against another's visor, blinding it. The room erupted into violence, humans fighting with fists, improvised weapons, raw desperation. Elena seized the drone arm, wrenching it free and swinging it like a club. A strike cracked through an alien's armor plate, ichor splattering across the floor. The others faltered, their precision unraveling in panic. Keep close! Elena shouted. They break when we press them! For all their technology, the Threx weren't built for chaos. Their discipline collapsed under human unpredictability. Fear spread faster than orders. The crew forced their way into the outer corridors. Sirens howled, emergency shutters sealing sections of the facility. Elena led them through the labyrinth, every turn lit by the flash of lightning from outside. Rahim panted at her side. Where do we go? We can't outrun all of them. We don't outrun, she said. We bleed them until the fear spreads. Once panic takes hold, this whole place fractures. They reached a junction where armored guards formed a line, weapons raised. Elena raised both hands, then deliberately coughed hard into her palm and smeared it against the wall. The effect was stunning. The front rank stumbled back. One fired nervously, bolts searing the ceiling. Another barked orders, but none wanted to advance. Willis laughed darkly. Never thought the common cold would save my life. Not just save it, Elena growled, surging forward. Win it! Her crew roared and charged. The line broke, scattered by their own terror. The humans pushed deeper, reaching what appeared to be a central hub. Consoles blinked with Dominion script. Above, a vast viewport revealed the jungle canopy writhing in the storm. At the center of the chamber stood arch-strategist Krylith. Taller than the rest, armored in obsidian plates traced with gold, he radiated cold authority. "You have contaminated our sanctuary," his translator rasped. "Do you comprehend what you've unleashed?" Elena leveled her makeshift club. "Yes. Humanity." Krylith's mandibles spread in disdain. "You are disease given form. If your kind spreads, no order will survive. And that's what terrifies you." She shot back. "You think order is control. We're proof the galaxy doesn't bend to control, it adapts." Krylith advanced, claws gleaming. "Then you die here, before your contagion spreads further." The battle erupted. Guards surged in, but fear gnawed at their formation. Elena ducked under a claw swipe, jamming the broken drone arm into a soldier's joint. Rahim tackled another, using sheer weight and fury to drive it down. Krylith struck with ruthless precision, his claws tearing through consoles, sparks raining. Elena met him head-on, blows ringing like hammer on anvil. He was stronger, faster, but she was relentless. Pain lanced her side as his claw raked across her armor. She staggered, blood hot against her ribs. Krylith hissed in triumph, until she grinned through the pain. "You think this ends me? You don't understand humans at all." She slammed her bloody hand across his visor. Crimson streaked the transparent surface. His mandibles clicked frantically. He recoiled as though she had driven a blade through his skull. The hesitation was enough. Rahim and Willis struck together, forcing him back. Elena seized the opening and drove the drone arm through a crack in his armor. Krylith screeched, collapsing against the console. Systems overloaded, alarms screaming. The jungle below lit with fire as containment protocols failed. Elena staggered, clutching her side, but forced herself upright. She turned to her crew. "Get to the landing bay. Now!" They ran through collapsing corridors, storm winds howling through ruptured walls. Alien guards scattered in confusion, more afraid of contamination than of combat. Fear had broken the Dominion's order. At the bay, the humans seized a captured shuttle. Systems whined as Rahim forced engines online. Sparks showered from the ceiling, flames licking the walls. Elena collapsed into the pilot's seat, ignoring the blood soaking her uniform. Her hands moved steady on the controls. "Strap in. We're going home." The shuttle roared free of the facility just as the storm tore it apart. Lightning consumed the black spire, flames scattering across the jungle canopy. High above the planet, the surviving crews sat in stunned silence. Willis finally spoke, voice hoarse. "Captain, what the hell just happened down there?" Elena drew a breath, steady despite her injuries. "The truth got out. The Dominion knows we can't be caged. And soon, the rest of the galaxy will too." Rahim glanced at her, half grinning despite exhaustion. "No one told them about human biology." Her eyes hardened, gaze fixed on the stars ahead. "Now they know." The shuttle angled toward orbit, stormlight fading behind them. Humanity had been underestimated for the last time.